I went through the dev diary, that way you don't have to, and I got to say, the most exciting part of this diary, at least to me, is the new mechanic, the Vizier. These people historically are crucial to a realm's administrative management, and likewise will be for your kingdom. Their stewardship skill will determine how many extra tax jurisdictions you can have, and remember in the previous dev diary, the screenshot showed that we could have 2. On top of this, a portion of their tax collector aptitude, which is determined by all their skills but mostly learning, will be added to all of your tax collectors, which will provide you a quote, powerful direct modifier on how much gold you get per month. The Vizier has a scales of power like a regent, but doesn't have access to quite as many powers as they do. The scales of power is a double-edged sword, because the more empowered your Vizier is, the more benefits you will receive, like the portion of aptitude to all of your tax collectors. But on the other hand, you will have to pay more prestige for mundane actions, possibly like inviting knights, searching for a physician, maybe going on a hunt. If for whatever reason you wanted to show your Vizier the door, the swing in the scales of power directly influences how much it will cost you in land and or monthly income. Firing your Vizier at scale of power level 4 will earn you a lovely negative 44% deduction of your monthly income. That's if you don't grant him a duchy title. Wait, did you hear that? I thought I heard somebody say assassin. More on that later. With great power comes great responsibility, and if they get too powerful, they may be responsible for a coup. I have no idea why the P is silent. So who can fill this very important role in your kingdom? You can grant this position to a duke, but you would make them very powerful, so I doubt you'll want to do that. Instead, you're more likely to fill it with a landless courtier or a minor baron of your faith's dominant gender. Your Vizier would be politicking, forming friendships and rivalries with people in your court. This leads us to the succession if your Vizier passes away. The type of relationships that the Vizier forms with other candidates determines where they are in the rankings in what is called a Vizier succession score. Candidates who are friends with the current Vizier will rise in the rankings, and a candidate who made themselves an enemy of your spouse will fall down those rankings. I'm not sure if it's a next man up type of thing or you get to choose from the top 3 candidates. And if your wife has terrible skills or your Vizier is just better overall skill wise, you can have your Vizier become your confidant in the council position and have them substitute in for your spouse so you can get their skill points for council tasks. It's believed the king generally understood that the Vizier would enrich themselves corruptly while running the realm's finances. The author of this diary mentioned it's not always true, and one example that comes to my mind is Joseph, the son of Jacob, who became Vizier of Egypt. And I'll link some resources in the description if you're curious about that and the evidence for the biblical exodus. The corruptness of the Vizier is a feature and not a bug in this pack. Their income from positional corruption is proportionate to your own income. And then they're going to tax you with an embezzlement fee for taking care of the finances. Again, this is a feature and not a bug. With this money that they make, they'll offer your vassals some gold in exchange for negative county modifiers, which harms your realm overall. They will also buy income and extravagance modifiers of 4 types: treasure, activities, properties, and charity. They will acquire 1 of each and then start over with tier 2, up to 4 tiers total, with each tier being more expensive to acquire and earning them more income and perks and benefits. If you are in a tight spot money-wise, you can mulct your Vizier with 4 options of your choice and fine them for their excesses. This will liquidate their extravagance modifiers and transfer the gold associated with that tier over to you in exchange for a negative 30 opinion hit. There are about 160 extravagance modifiers with those 4 types your Vizier can purchase. The ones they purchase will be influenced by their personality traits and interests. We finished covering my favorite part of this diary. Let's get into the other cool stuff that's covered in here. They made big changes to the Mutazila, Quraymites, and the Azariqa religious groups in order to better reflect the realities of 9th century Iran. If you like to play on hard mode, the rebellious egalitarian Quraymites might interest you, as they are the underdog playthrough because none of them are landed. They are of the Zoroastrian faith and have the tenets righteous rebellion, Raja, and communal possessions. Their sins are lazy, arrogant, deceitful, and sadistic. Their virtues are diligent, honest, and just. The Azakri Muslim faith starts off the 867 campaign with the rebellion that you can join to form the Azaraqian Caliphate. Their legalism tenet makes it less likely for your vassals to join factions if you have a virtuous trait. The Warmonger tenet allows clergy to serve as knights, grants you 1 invasion casus belli per character, and there is no offensive war penalty, but vassals will have a lowered opinion if you are at peace for longer than 6 months. Their last tenet is new and also shared with the Nizari faith. This tenet grants you the ability to hire a master assassin. And his name is John Wick. There is no piety lost for murdering a character of a different faith. All members of this faith get a nice +2 prowess. There's a new addition of special buildings, and the culture map around Persia has been updated. The Persians not only got 3 new traditions, but 1 new building line that will replace the dry land dwellers line, and they get a new court position, the Scholar, which you can sponsor to unlock new innovations. To unlock the Scholar position, you must have the Beacon of Learning Cultural Tradition. This is huge because now you could unlock 2 innovations at the same time, giving your culture a significant advantage. The Afghan, Baloch, and Brahui cultures get access to the Jirga, which is like an assembly or council of leaders, unlocking the tribal elective succession. They also get new traditions that unlock new men-at-arms units, like the Zupin Spearmen and the Tarkans Frontier Warriors. Not sure if it's heavy infantry or skirmishers. New decisions and events are being added to give us insight on the possibilities that historical rulers would have had. They've added the flip side as well, granting us the option to create unlikely historical scenarios, like promoting alternate Islamic faiths like the Maturidi denomination of Sunni Islam or Shia Imamism. They've said Turkic conquerors and Seljuks are more likely to show up and make a new home for themselves in the Iranian plateau. I don't know if they will show up in your court and for you to land them, or they will find themselves being landed due to the struggle. There is an early event chain revolving around the Zanj rebellion, which is going to add more uncertainty and dynamism to an already open situation. So if you play in the region often, you should see different scenarios played out. Last but not least, they've added new dynasties, rivalries, and expanded many of the existing family trees. And to add your own flavor to your campaigns, the ability to edit the coat of arms with new Iranian and Islamic elements. That's everything in Dev Diary 138. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.